Let's discuss how to set up our admin cash app in greater detail. You can modify your admin cash app to match your business needs. Most restaurants will use only one admin cash app to account for all sales. However, if your business has multiple revenue centers, you can set up multiple admin cash apps for each center if needed. An example of a business using multiple revenue centers could be a winery that generates sales from a tasting room, wine garden, cafe, and restaurant. Each revenue center can have its own cash reconciliation process to ensure that sales from that specific revenue center are properly balanced. Additionally, if you have only one revenue center but want to separate the cash app for day trade and night trade, you can create a separate day and night cash app to track revenue accordingly. Pilot will also provide a summary of all admin cash apps to help you see your overall variance. To access the admin cash app in Pilot Admin, select the cash app icon. The cash app totals window will open. The system requires you to indicate if you would like to allow for auto allocation of float. This means that any cash not banked prior to day end will be brought forward as your float for the next day. You will then not be allowed to issue floats or make changes without the necessary authorization. Auto allocation, however, will only take effect if you have one admin cash app running. When working with more than one admin cash app, you won't be able to select to auto allocate, and you will be responsible to issue out floats to your various admin cash apps. If this is the first time you are opening an admin cash app, the system may prompt you to set up the supplier and expense category that any cash app variances will allocate to. In other words, any variance recorded by the admin cash app after day end ran can be reported on through referring to the admin cash apps directly or by viewing your purchases report and selecting to report on your cash app variances. The category affected will be determined by what you select under cash app variance as seen here. Best practice calls to link the category to its own cat called cash app variance and the supplier account to cash app variance control. If these options are not present to select, you can create them and return to set up the admin cash app. Variances will also pull through to your income statement under the category selected here with the category abbreviation of ZC. Of course, if you are not comfortable or unsure about changes to be made here, please feel free to contact our support team so they can guide you through these changes. If you are using a cash desk, you can indicate this to the system by selecting the cash desk dial here. This will only be an option once you open up the setup selections prior to trade starting. Once a table has been opened or any transactions processed through the system, you won't be able to change this option and will need to wait until day end has run before returning to make changes. The system trading date and cash updates will reflect in the bottom left corner here, and any unallocated float total will reflect in the right hand corner here. Save or undo any changes made. And now let's return to our cash up totals screen. You can jump between cash apps by clicking the drop down here and selecting the relevant one. We can see that currently we have two admin cash apps called Admin and Bar. We are also provided a cash app summary, reconciling all transactions from all admin cash apps. If you would like to create a new cash app, select Setup and select New Cash App. Enter a name and click OK. Your new cash app then generates ready for you to use. If you would like to delete a cash app, simply select the cash app in question, click on Setup and select Delete. Then click Yes to confirm and OK. If you're uncertain about issuing floats and would like to learn more about float allocation, go ahead and view our Admin Cash App usage tutorial for more detail. Under the Setup tab, we can also enter the Cash App template setup. Here, we can change and update the standard template to match our exact needs. Currently, we are in the Cash Items tab. Adding the values to each denomination here will allow you to not only punch the total rand value for each note when reconciling your till, but will also allow you to punch the total note instead. The system will auto-generate the value of the total notes as a result. You can select a field here and choose to delete if not applicable or add more if needed. Again, when making changes during the setup, remember to save your work or the changes will not take effect. You can also undo any mistakes made. Click on Select here to swap to the bankable items. You can rename these fields for your speed points to match, for example, the sections they are found in, or prefer to keep it at the standard setup of speed points 1 through to 7. If you do not require this many speed points, you can delete fields by clicking on them and clicking delete. You can also add fields if required. Add here any other requirements worthy of noting on your cash app that may affect your till and turnover sales, such as voucher payments, customer accounts, or Uber. Save any changes made and click back to return to the main cash app totals window. Let's have a look at how these changes affected our current cash app template. Take note that we can enter both our total value here or the total notes counted. You can also view our changes made to cash and the bankable items as seen here. Lastly, note that you can lock cash apps after totals are entered to ensure that no one lacking the necessary authorization tampers with any cash app totals. Once a cash app is locked, you will need to unlock it before changes can be made. Remember that any uncashed up waiters or open tables may affect your admin cash app variance, so ensure that you close down all POS operations before moving on to the reconcile the admin cash apps. If you would like to learn more about back of house operations and the management thereof in Pilot, check out our admin procedures playlist, and if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on any new upcoming changes or features.